Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And I found out how to do these square yokes. Now this one's quite large, as you can see. Now the trick with this yoke is the bigger the hook you use, the bigger the garment you get. It's the same number of stitches, so it's the same number of stitches on this one as it is on this one. Look at this one. Now this one is much smaller, as you can see. Now this was done with a 3.5, a UK 3.5 hook, and the blue one was done with a 4.5 crochet hook. Now I've been experimenting with smaller hooks and the yarn is double knitting yarn. And I've also worked out how to make this bigger for 6 to 12 months and bigger. Now look at this simple square yoke. It's a simple square yoke. Really simple. Now you can either have the opening at the back. If you're doing some baby clothes, you can keep the opening at the front and you can extend this down and it can be cardigans. This is where your armholes are. So simple. You just stitch it here and then you go around and around for your armholes if you want to put sleeves on. Now I will do the video on how to do this. I'll do the video on how to do this. Now look what I have made from that square. Look at this. Now I'm going to pop that over. Now, I did a cardigan. Now, I'm still experimenting because I did my sleeves too long. I did this out of my head. And I've got it so that it sort of, I don't know what way it crosses over though. I mean, people still say left for a girl and right to the boy or whatever way it is. It doesn't matter to me. But it does cross over and I can put buttons on. And I'm just going to push, if I put the buttons there, I'm just going to push the buttons through a gap. Because it's crochet, you can just put it through the gap. But you can see where the square is. The square is here. This is the square that I've made. Now we'll get this one back. So if you can, I'll pop that over the top and you can see that that is where that yoke is. That yoke, and then I'll just continued around, back and forward. I just started here and I worked along to the corner and then I caught this corner like this and I crocheted along here and then you just catch that. I'll show you in a video. Oh, somebody's at my door. I crocheted along to there. I chained 2 and I turned and I worked back and forward and it made this a lovely little cardigan. So once I had that part done, I just went around. I'll show you again. Now when that's joined, you've got the sleeve. So I just went around and around. I added a few stitches in just to make it that little bit wider for the shoulders. And then I reduced the stitches again. I'll show you how to do it. I even put a little cuff on. Look at that. Now my sleeve is a little bit long. I don't know how long baby's arms are. But out of that, I made this. Now you could make a great big one of these, adult size. And you can make a cardigan like this. I'm going to show my sister Sandra how to do this. And then she can make a big one. I'll work out stitches for her. And she can make an arrow. I can even make one for myself. So I'm going to pop that aside. And pop that there. Now out the same square. Look at this. Oh, I made a beautiful, beautiful little dress. Now again, if you look at it, now the shape of the dress is pulling it out. It's that same square. It's the same square. Now I'll turn it around and you can see that is the back opening. I put a little edge around. I did just put a little edge around here, but that is the sleeve. I only put one row. I actually don't think I put any rows on it. That is the square. I put a little edge around this one. So there's your square there. Or your yoke. And when you've got the dress part done, you've got this part open. See, so it looks like a little peak sleeve. And you can put an edge on, you don't have to. So that same yoke made this dress. And all you do is you just make sure, I'll just tell you to make sure that you've got enough stitches around the bottom of your yoke to follow your pattern. And this is the pattern that I've done for this little dress. I started with 2 little granny stitches, I bumped it up to 3, and then for the last one we went up to 4 stitches. And I did that. Now what else? I made it, look at this one. Look at this one. Now that's the back. You just pop a few buttons on and you can button through these little spaces on your crochet. It's the same square. And I put this pattern on it. I put this pattern on. All you need to do is make sure that you've got sets of 7 stitches around the edge when you join your yoke. And if you don't, you just add some stitches in. I'll show you how to do that. Now you can tell me if you want to see these done as videos. I can show you how to do this. I've done this as a blanket as well in a previous video, and I thought, I wonder if that pattern will transfer to a little dress. So I haven't left, if the baby's going to be a boy, look at this. It's the same square. Look at that, you can clearly see it's the same square. You join it here and you work around and get your stitches. Now then I thought maybe I could make that longer, and then I thought maybe I could turn that into legs, and I made a little romper suit from it. It's a little bit big. I don't know what size babies are. I just don't know what size babies are. But you can easily adjust it. If you've already got your grandbaby or the baby in mind, you can easily adjust this. And that is from that same square. And there you go. Look, there it is as the dress. And all I did was I continued it down. I joined it in the middle. I just caught it in the middle like this. So let's just pretend we're doing this. I caught it in the middle, and then I worked around and around to do the leg, and then I worked around and around this one to do this leg. And look at this. So we've got that dress, we've got this little romper suit, and I think you could actually make that longer, keep that back running down, and you can make this into a little sleep suit. So they're sleeping with their arms out, but their legs are enclosed in here. So it could be like a sleep suit as well. I'll put that aside. Now, I've still got the tails on this one. I've still got the tails. Look what I did. And it is this is a 3mm crochet hook. It's the same amount of stitches. It's the same amount of stitches as this. Believe it or not, it's the same yarn. I just use a very small crochet hook, and I've got this little newborn size. And then what I've done, there is your square there. Your square yoke. That is your square yoke. And all I done was I just put some little baubles on. I've done a nice little edge, which is a UK half treble crochet and then a slip stitch, a half treble crochet and a slip stitch all the way around. And if you're in the USA, that is a half double crochet for you and a slip stitch all the way around. Gave me the edge. I added in some little baubles. You'll let your mind run riot with this. You can put short sleeves, you can put long sleeves on. So after that, I tried this. Now this is the bigger size. This is this bigger size. So this is with a 4.5mm crochet hook. It's the same number of stitches again. It's the same number of stitches, and it's just made it bigger. It's made it from a 3 to 6 month size. So once you can see your square again there, your square is there. That was, I've just put this stitch in. I've put this stitch in, and it's made this beautiful warm dress. You could just extend that down and then sew along the bottom, and you can make it into a little sleep suit where you can just put the baby can kick their legs around in it. but they've got the top. You can run that part right down the bottom there as well. So I've got that. And then I thought, maybe I should make a cardigan. Maybe I should make, I followed a pattern. Well, I found a vintage pattern, and all it is 2 fronts, a back and 2 sleeves. Now I think I could actually get away with doing, the back is just a square. The back is just a square, and then you do the 2 fronts, and you just reduce the stitches here a little bit. I'll show you how to do that if you want in a different video, because this one is in 3 parts. And then what you can do is you just pick up the stitches again and then make your sleeve. Now I have got a smaller one. When Amy saw this, she's like, oh, what size of baby do you think I'm going to have? I says, but it was the first one I made, and I says, well, make it smaller. I says, your baby's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. You might not think it's going, but it will. Before it, in no time, it'll be going to school before you even know it. So that is that one, and that was done in a 4.5 size crochet hook. But I did a different pattern, but look how simple this is. Now my sister Sandra kept telling me that adult clothes can be quite simple, and they can, because look, that is just a square. It is just a square. And then I'll do a video and I'll show you how to do this, and then how very simply to do a front, 2 sides. And because it's only the 1 stitch, it doesn't matter which way you turn it, as long as you've got one going that way and one going that. The 2 pieces are exactly the same, they're done the same. And then when you sew upside, you just sew around and around and around to make the arms. And then look at that, you've got this really pretty cardigan. Now I'm still working out my sizes and things, but that's what I've been doing. I've been doing some of that when I've had COVID. I've made a little cardigan, I've made a little dress. I need to make some white things. I made this little cardigan, I've made another one. I've still to sew in my ones with this. And that is all, most of all of it, except for that yellow cardigan there. All of these have been made with a square yoke. 1 square yoke, and it made all of those items just by doing the top with this square yoke. And I'm going to show you how to do it in a different video, but I was just showing you what I've been getting up to, and sort of sharing my good news about going to be a grandmother for the first time, which is it's quite daunting. But look how busy I've been. It's kept me busy actually while I've had COVID as well. I haven't been able to do it all. It crochets up really quickly though. I mean, you might think, my goodness, you couldn't have been that unwell. Well, I was unwell for 3 weeks, but this little square only took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours, not even that. It didn't take long at all to get this done. So what you can actually do is you can actually make a whole load of these, all different colours. And then when someone says, could you make me a cardigan or could you make me a romper suit, you've got your little top already done. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your well wishes as well when I posted up on my channel that I had COVID. So that helped greatly. And I'm just looking at all these baby things. I'm actually quite flabbergasted that I managed, especially make these little cardigans, especially making all of these. Absolutely amazing, just out of a little square. And I need to thank my friend Elizabeth Fox for her help with me, for that she's gave me, and my friend Claire as well, supporting me almost every day. They were checking up on me and make sure that I've been okay, as well as my family as well. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Let me know if you want to see some videos on these individual little items, and I'll get something sorted out, and I'm going to be doing more, and I'll put it in between my blankets and things as well that I've been doing. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.